Welcome back, everybody. Now, South African fashion and lifestyle brand MaXhosa Africa will be hosting a unique walkabout experience at their Johannesburg factory today. During the walkabout, guests will have the opportunity to witness the internationally acclaimed brand's entire production process, explore their creative space and gain a deeper understanding of the systems and methods that drive the MaXhosa Company. To share more on the experience, we're joined virtually by the founder, Laduma Ngxokolo. Very good morning to you, Laduma. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Simpiwe. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show.
It's an absolute pleasure. I think this is the coolest thing that a brand and a company can actually do for its clientele and consumers at large. I mean, just showing us how the entire production process, unfolds. Just talk to us about the purpose of this walkabout experience.
I think, first of all, I have to mention the fact that transparency is the new trend. Well, it's more of an obligation than a trend. So, but for me, transparency has always been a vital pillar of a brand. I always tell my customers where I source my inspiration from, my raw materials from, and how I make my product. Because we live in a time where climate change is one of the most bad factors that are happening in the world, and therefore people are always concerned on how much impact each brand has. And globally, textile and fashion are the highest pollution industry in the world, so transparency is becoming something that a lot of brands have to declare these days.
And I suppose you can just let us in, Laduma, on where you get your raw material that makes the MaXhosa garments such a big deal.
Initially, majority of our material used to come from Port Elizabeth slash Beja. Specifically, those materials are wool, mohair, and blends of silk, which categorized in a group called novelty yarn. Novelty yarn is specifically materials that you use to make luxury clothing.
Right.
There are a lot of luxury brands are using, and lately, because our business in summer has grown more, because South Africa is a summer country, we use a lot of viscose and a lot of we use a lot of materials that are semi-natural, which means that those are materials that are compliant with the global standards of being ethical. And
having said that, Laduma, the viscose and the other material, are you going to go big on it? Because we know that MaXhosa is mostly wool. All the MaXhosa garments that have made MaXhosa to be the household brand that it is today are made of wool. So are you going to go big on the other material?
We've already gone big on those specific materials already, and we never even anticipated that it will grow that big. We make our towels out of 100% cotton, which is woven in Cape Town by Colibri, and we use various other natural materials, which some of them are produced in South Africa. So the shift has balanced more towards summer than winter. But now that we are in America, we're trying to grow more in winter, because America is more of a winter country than a summer country, So balance between summer is something that we had to play very well, and also make sure that in our stores we have both seasons of clothing options to choose from.
Oh, got you. Now, how long is the walkabout experience, and what's the aim of sharing the niceties of the business?
The walkabout session starts from 9 a.m. in the morning until late. We didn't really specify a time that it ends, because we believe that craftsmanship takes hours, days, and weeks to explain. So it depends on someone's patience, on how they want to spend. we've had a lot of people that have visited our production studio in the past, and 99.9% of them always say that I wish that the public knew about this production process that you guys do.
Okay.
But in terms of our marketing strategy, we tend to lean more towards getting customers to find out than using that point of sale as the front line of the business. We are in the business of selling beautiful things, you know.
Right.
We want that to be the start of the conversation.
Now, MaXhosa, Laduma, you pride yourself in designing luxury African fashion, and you've been doing this for a decade now. Talk to us about the importance of knowing and catering your target market.
I think knowing and catering to your target market is key, especially when you go into retail, because retail is where you accumulate a lot of overheads, and therefore, by the time you get into retail, you already have to know which specific target market that you are targeting towards.
Okay.
And also acknowledge the fact that that target market has to sustain your overheads and overheads that are even outside of the retail store. So for us, we learned over the past 8 years since we started retail who our specific market is, and we even got to a point where we hit the ceiling. Now we are trying to study who our international customers are. So
who's the target market? Who's the target market?
Our target market are people that most of them appreciate art and things that are made with extra care, which by default fall within the category of luxury. People who shop novelty products,
right?
Like jewelry and various other luxury products that people don't really need in their life.
Okay.
But
are you at liberty to share with us whether you will at some point consider incorporating the mass market into the brand? Because the mass market has been bitterly complaining that in as much as the MaXhosa garments are quite astounding and very beautiful, but they don't have access to the MaXhosa brand.
To be frank and tell you the truth, I don't think that will ever branch into that market. There are already some shady forces that are already doing that, and therefore we wouldn't even consider, because I personally believe, and we share the same with the executives in our organization, that things that are desirable are worth the wait. But then if you are able to acquire it way before the time you afford to acquire it, you lose the desire, you know, to be a part of the community of that product. You know, luxury works in one way. It's either you kill it or you grow it. You know, so my belief was unique in the sense that I felt like culture / Isintu could become luxury as well.
All right. Laduma, we are out of time, unfortunately, but thank you so much for your time. So this walkabout, is it just a walk-in? Do I have to make an appointment, or is it just individual or group sessions? Just briefly.
The appointments can be done on our website. Okay. So you can do appointments. Unfortunately, the bookings have been closed, but you can book an appointment through our website. If you go through our homepage menu and contact and book an appointment, you can register your name there and the time slot that you want to come and visit.
Laduma, all the best, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff.
Appreciate it.
Indeed. Well, we just spoke to Laduma Ngxokolo, the founder of MaXhosa Africa. There will be a walkabout at the MaXhosa Studio Tour where patrons and guests will have a unique viewpoint of part of their creative process.